The amalgamation of 110 Unity Schools Old Student Association had engaged private sector's government agencies, expertise in education and digital technology at USOSA Education Summit with a theme transforming secondary education for the digital age in Abuja to deliberate on how to encourage government and private sectors to integrate technology and digital learning to enhancing the capacity of young Nigerian students to compete globally and to transforming the child education. Speaking to Delegate TV on the importance of the summit, some of the participants have this to say.
Event powered by USOSA, the Education Summit, has to do with looking at the issues in the education sector in Nigeria, particularly secondary education, and seeing how we can come up with ideas and recommend ideas to leapfrog and move the secondary education sector forward using digital technology. Okay, so people, various stakeholders, we need to look up and then get our acts together. Nigeria has happened to the education sector like every other sector, but we now need to realize that, this is us, this is ours. Nobody is going to come and do it for us. We are well qualified to do what needs to be done to get us to the position that we're supposed to be. So it's for all of us to wake up, and I say that to all the associates who have been trained with public money, practically free education, educated to the standards that they were in secondary education and have gone on to do greater things in university and beyond. This is time for us to put our heads together and realize that this is our country, this is our nation. We need to get our acts together. It's simply that. You can't blame one person or that. The government will say they don't have money. God bless them, they don't have money. Other people will say let the government do the funding. But the point about it is, if we do not work in our various sectors, to make sure that Nigeria is secure, that the roads are good, that where there is power, energy issue, those that are providing energy, they can provide reliable energy. Everything has collapsed. We simply need in our various sectors to make sure that let's get our own cell correctly, and the network will now be good.
Yes, this is an initiative that is being promoted by USOSA, which is the Unity School Old Students Association, an amalgamation of 110 alumni association in Nigeria, of federal government colleges, federal government girls colleges, federal science colleges. And we've come today to meet and deliberate over secondary education in Nigeria and how we can improve and transform that sector, especially now that we're in the digital age. So we're very glad. We invited several stakeholders from all over Nigeria. We invited a lot of old students to come who have expertise in education. We invited a lot of service providers, particularly those in edutech and digital technology, to give us their own input. And we hope that after this, we're looking forward to releasing a communique as well as an implementation strategy for moving secondary education forward in Nigeria. Okay. No, well, every state in Nigeria has unity schools. Every state, by law, every state has a federal government college, and every state has a federal government girls college. So there's no state that doesn't have one, and some states also have federal science colleges. Okay. And the philosophy behind unity schools is the integration of Nigeria and Nigerians. So we have students from all over Nigeria in those schools. That's how they were designed, to promote integration, to promote nation building, and then of course to promote academic excellence, because you can't go to school without wanting to excel. Our concern is quality and then access. So whether it's a federal school or a state school, what is the quality of that school? How accessible is it to the underprivileged, to the underserved areas, to the ordinary Nigerian? Because we were educated with taxpayers' money. These were public schools, but good quality schools. That's not the story anymore. And we're trying as alumni, using platforms of alumni relations to bring back that glory, what it used to be. So we want more teachers, we want higher enrollment, we want better infrastructure, we want better training also for the teachers. Okay, of course we want them to also improve the curriculum to meet with the expectations of the 21st century. We want them to improve their digital skills, particularly in the areas of pedagogy, so people can learn faster, the students can learn faster, they can learn more and have a more interesting learning experience. People have left blackboards now, they've left chalk, they've even left smart boards now. There are different kind of touch screens now. You can world-class education. We got world-class education. You mean?
We are passionate about education and giving back to our schools. All of us are products of the federal government colleges, and we had very good foundations for our time. We're one of the best schools in our time. So we're interested in making sure that the schools that molded us, that we are helping and giving back to make sure that it is good enough for the current students. All of us know how public schools have deteriorated in Nigeria. So hopefully, something like this, where by the grace of God, our colleagues and our alumni are in big positions now, Senate presidents, PAMSECs, ministers, so that we'll harness our network and see how we can improve the lot of public schools, government schools in Nigeria. That's why we are here.
I see a very bright future. Nigerian children are very talented. Nigerians are gifted all over the world, and wherever you find Nigerian workers, they usually come into the market better equipped and more appealing. So our children, the foundation we are trying to lay for the children, which is in holding summits like this to encourage government and private participants to integrate technology, digital learning, so as to enhance the capacity of our children to compete globally. Because what is the success of knowledge-based economies such as China and Taiwan? They don't have any natural resources. What they have is human knowledge and research development and developing their capacity, starting from childhood. So we must start from very basic education. And I think the most important investment you can make in your child is good education, and this is one of the responsibilities of government. And so government must take this seriously, but not just government, even the private sector, parents, the society. The education of our children is the future of our nation, and that's why we're here today, to participate in this summit and to ensure that we contribute our own quota to give our children a good education. And I'm happy to be honored by my alma mater, my Old Students Association.
It's a very welcome initiative by the USOSA. Education, as we have seen, has become a serious challenge at all levels. We see more of the challenge with universities, and we say, okay, ASU strike and the rest. But we are forgetting that there is a bedrock, there is a foundation which has to be laid even before students or pupils get into the higher institutions of learning. And it starts right from the kindergarten, nursery, primary, then on to the secondary. We're in a digital age today, and if you know, we call the children of now the millennials because they were born with GSM phones. Digital technology is at their fingerprints. So we need to encourage them and make it more accessible to them. The AI space now is where everything is happening. You don't have to go to school. School can actually come to you. There are 16 unity schools today. Yes. And of course, not every child can go to unity school, but we want to use this platform to tell all that are learning, or all that are in the learning space, not just in unity school, to use this opportunity. And if you notice, there's a need to contribute and collaborate. It can't be done by one group, one individual, by just government alone. Everyone has a stake in it. We are all stakeholders, and it's only when we come together that we can bring a little from here, bring a little from there, and then the digital space will become a reality.
I'm the creator of Joro, an educational game which is suitable for all families. It's presently been assessed, recommended and introduced into Nigerian schools with the partnership of UBEC for the teaching of history. Yes, it's an opportunity for us to showcase what you have as Nigerians. We are highly talented and resourceful people, and it's great to see people gathered here for the benefit of education. I'm not only an exhibitor, I'm a proud product of Federal Government College, Maiduguri, and I stand bold to say USOSA has done very well in organizing this event. We should be not just be critics of government, but be partakers in finding solutions to problems that bedevil our education system. We are determined as a people to sustain not just the game and the efforts we've embarked upon. I know the leadership of Mr. Mike Magaji is determined, to contribute its quota to national development using the USOSA platform.
Thank you. Nigerian call for secondary education has not been fully emphasized, and for every conversation that is being done in that regard is just to keep on pressing the nail on the head. And so yes, I claim to say I had a good time, but my seniors even had a better time. But why should the people that are in school now have the worst time? So we all have to put our hands together and work at this. The Sustainable Development Goals Goal 4 talks about quality education. I work for the Sustainable Development Goals Radio, and it's our job and our sole responsibility to ensure that we continue to bring this activity to the front burner, which is part of the reason why I'm here, and as an alumni, we continue to preach that gospel.
At least be able to get one or two things that will be able to help us at least contribute our own quota in driving the educational process and then improving the education of our young people of today. Today I've greatly learned a lot today that we should invest a lot in our child education, especially the area that has to do with digital education and then technology education as well, because the world as it is today now has changed from what it was in our own time. I heard somebody in that discussion talking about he went to school with chalk and I think a black slate or whatever, but today we ain't talking about those children who are doing that anymore, or even studying computer with notebook. But today, those who are actually studying it, using the tools that will make education much, much better.
The theme of the conference, transformation of education in the digital age. The theme is quite apt. It has actually come at the right time. Now that the government is trying to transform the entire education sector. Now, going by what the speakers have said, it will actually help most of the states, to know where to start, in terms of education transformation. So the lectures were aligned with the thinking of most of the states, and I'm sure those participants will take home what had been said, and then try and build on that to transform education in that respect.
So the most important thing is that this association, being a baby of education itself, has taken a critical, maybe first or second step towards transforming education in Nigeria, and should be loudly applauded for this effort.
We're here to encourage parents to help their children go to school and then try as much as possible to make learning environment conducive for our young ones. Because growing up then, education was a priority for most of us, and it's not so to speak of nowadays children. For the next edition, which is going to be next year, I would advise them to make the program, give a better date, like a weekend, so that more people will come. I cannot wait to see more people attend the program next year.
A lot to take on. In fact, when you hear about the things that are going on in technology, you know that we have a lot of catching up to do. So all hands need to be on deck when it comes to developing secondary school education in Nigeria. And also, it's not just about the technology, but the leadership that drives the technology. So there's a need for leadership development at policy level. There's a need for leadership development at implementation level, where you have the leadership of the schools, training and capacity development, the teachers who are responsible for teaching the students, and even the students themselves, so that the students can be properly guided in the area that would help them or will help bring out the best version of themselves. You saw from inside the questions that the students ask, there's enormous potential. But unless private sector, community, civil society, and government, unless we put our heads together, we'll only be having pockets of success in different places. But if we put our heads together, then we can make a bigger impact. They say it takes a village, isn't it?
Well, my take home for today is that as alumni of the association, as a citizen of Nigeria, we must all be involved in ensuring that we promote and advance the cause of education in our country. Yeah, so I see the commitment and the interest by every member of the panel. It was a huge conversation, and I think it's something that we can begin to take forward from here.
On the final note, Nigerians were advised that the best sector to invest their resources for better tomorrow is education, which should be made accessible and available to young Nigerians. Augustus Oche Ifene, Delegate TV, Abuja.